Good day, and thank you for joining us for another edition of Conversations with AARP in the Virgin Islands. I'm your host, Troy deChabert-Schuster, State Director for AARP in this territory. In today's episode, we turn our attention to an innovative and transformative initiative making its way across the territory, the Virgin Islands Slice Program, under the administration of the U.S. Virgin Islands Economic Development Authority. This initiative has been at the forefront of building financial resilience across the territory, specifically targeting the middle or the missing middle class by providing essential financial support to help Virgin Islanders realize home ownership. By addressing this segment of the population, the program is not only creating financial opportunities, but also laying the foundation for a more secure and prosperous future for Virgin Islanders to enjoy throughout their lifespan, especially those aged 50 and older. Recognizing that this initiative aligns with AARP's mission about the importance of building financial resilience, we have invited Wayne Biggs, Chief Executive Officer of the Virgin Islands Economic Development Authority, to offer a comprehensive overview into the impactful initiative currently making a significant difference in the lives of Virgin Islanders. So stay with us as we unpack this narrative about financial empowerment and resilience administered by innovative initiatives from the U.S. Virgin Islands Economic Development Authority. And now we welcome Wayne Biggs of the USVI EDA. Welcome, Wayne.
Good day, Troy. Thanks for having me on.
It's a pleasure, and thanks for coming back on our show. You've been with us a couple of times in the past, and you always have so much to share. You're doing such great things at the VI EDA, and so we've had to break it up into several shows, and now we're in particular talking about the VI Slice program. So can you tell us a little bit about VI Slice, how it started up and where it is now?
Yeah, VI Slice is a moderate income gap financing program. And the thought behind the program was how do we get more Virgin Islanders involved in home ownership? So we sort of devised the program and we looked at the fact that in many instances, the moderate income individuals are the one that's sort of left out of the program. So we created this gap financing program. Now with gap financing, what you have to do is you have to qualify at one of the mortgage lenders, whether it be a bank or a private mortgage lender for a mortgage. And then if there's a gap, we'll fill that gap, or potentially we can fill that gap. So just as an example, for instance, if you're trying to purchase a home for 300,000 and you qualify for a mortgage for 250, we can provide that $50,000 gap financing to allow you to have that home. And the good thing about this program is that after 10 years, if you live in a home, it turns into a grant. So this is really a program for first-time homeowners purchasing the first house in the VA.
And what is the threshold of income or household income to be able to participate in this again?
Yeah, the threshold varies depending on island. I would encourage individuals to go to our website, vislice.com. Very, very simple, vislice.com, and where you can get the threshold information and additional information. But it runs roughly from the mid $40,000 range up to slightly more than 200,000, depending on what island you're on.
And are all of the banks in the Virgin Islands participating, or just some of them?
Currently, all of the banks are participating, with the exception of Bank of St. Croix, and we're in the process of still negotiating with Bank of St. Croix and getting them into the program. So, First Bank, Banco Popular, Merchants Commercial over in St. Thomas, Oriental, they all participate. In addition, Capital Mortgage, a private mortgage entity, is participating, and also the United States Rural Development Agency is also participating in the program. So the Rural Development Agency is one of the Department of Agriculture programs.
And when the EDA fills that gap in the financing, is that repayable to the EDA, or is that a forgivable loan?
Again, if you live in a property for 10 years and you have to certify annually that you're living in the property, then it becomes a grant. We forgive the entire amount, and you make no payments for that 10-year period while you're living there. It is a declining balance mortgage that we place on a home. So if you live for 5 years out of the 10, then you'd have to repay 50% if you sold a home or you transfer the home in some other manner. But if you live for the full 10 years, it becomes a grant and it becomes non-payable. Now, the beauty about the VI Slice program also is that it allows you to do a variety of different things. We can give you gap financing for the down payment. We can give you gap financing for closing costs. We can give you gap financing for purchasing a home. We can give you gap financing for building a home. And we can give you gap financing for purchasing and bringing a home up to code. So there's a variety of different programs under this. And the aggregate total is $200,000 that we can loan or give to an individual. So a significant amount of equity you can get by staying in that home for 10 years.
Yeah, that's incredible. So again, just for the listening and viewing audience to be very, very clear. So when an individual gets the gap financing from the EDA, for those whole first 10 years, they're not paying. And then at the end of the 10 years, they certify that they've been living there the 10 years, and then it's made into a grant. Is that correct?
Yeah, we do what we call, or we place what we call a small mortgage on a property. So the person who's lending that first mortgage, whether it be one of the banks, one of the other financial institutions, they'll place the first mortgage for the amount that they loan to the individual. We then will place a second mortgage for the gap financing. Each year, the individual certifies online that they're still living in the home, and after 10 years, that mortgage automatically drops out. There's nothing the individual has to do. If they're in the process of selling their home or they're moving off island and they need to sell the home or whatever, like I said, it's a declining mortgage. So we'll determine what the balance is at that. But it's really a no interest mortgage. So basically you can take whatever it is and divide by 10. And if you stay a year, then you have 90% left. If you stay 5 years, you have 50% left. So it's very, very simple in regard to this program. Again, but we're trying to encourage individuals really to purchase a home here in the Virgin Islands and then live here in the Virgin Islands.
That's a great opportunity. So it's even if they do end up having to repay some, it's zero interest. It's just principal payments.
Yeah, we understand that different things happen. I mean, there may be medical issues and you have to move to the States. So we're not here to penalize you, but we're not here necessarily to enrich you either. We want, again, for you to be able to purchase a home and to live here in the territory.
And do you find many people taking advantage of this program?
We have approved about 13 loans thus far through this particular program. We have about 7 additional loans in the pipeline. We do have town halls coming up. We have a town hall on St. Croix on March 25th, one in St. Thomas on March 26th, and one in St. John on March 27th. And all the town halls are completely booked to capacity right now. So we're basically taking individuals on a waiting list. But I guess we're going to have more of these town halls and more of these seminars to share the information. One of the issues we're running into right now in reference to the program is sort of the lack of inventory of homes that's available here in the territory. But the program is very active.
Lack of inventory. So that means that there aren't many homes on the market.
Not many homes on the market. With the advent of Airbnb, a lot of homes that traditionally would hit the market have been converted to Airbnb. We are seeing more homes come to the market. But again, that's one of the beauties of this program is we've allowed the program to allow you to build a home also. So if you have land and you have not been able to raise the capital to build, this is the opportunity where you may be able to do that.
And I understand also that the Federal Reserve is considering a reduction in interest rates, maybe as many as 3 reductions in interest rates during this year, 2024. So do you think that will spur on the market and the economy?
Yeah, definitely. I think as interest rates go down, and I heard the same thing that you're hearing, that potentially 3 different interest rates reductions before the end of the year. Definitely that's going to have an impact. With high interest rates, that affects your payment and the amount of money you're able to qualify for. So I think as interest rates go down, definitely I think we'll see some more activity in reference to the program.
And so when somebody wants to take advantage of this VI Slice program, they start with the bank. So they go through all the credit checks with the bank. The bank determines their credit worthiness, I'm imagining, and then once they're approved, then they come to the EDA, or which comes first?
Yeah, you're correct in that the individual goes to the bank. They have to qualify for a mortgage. They also have to take the Housing Finance Authority's homeowners program certification and be certified in that program. They have a wonderful program that teaches you in reference to purchasing your home or living in your first home, some of the things that you need to consider, such as the maintenance after, the insurance, a variety of different things. So you have to complete that program. You go to the bank qualifies you for a mortgage based on the income levels that you have and your debts. Then the bank actually comes to us and say this individual has a gap and we'd like you to fill the gap. So the individual doesn't have really to interact with us at the EDA at all, but the individual will definitely have to go to the bank and qualify for a mortgage at the bank. So there has to be a commitment, there has to be a certification, and this is what you qualify for, and a determination that this is the amount of gap financing you need. And it's all done really basically online and through online portal. So it's a very fast program. It works very quickly. Like I said, we've been able to close about 13 loans thus far, and we have 7 more in the pipeline that we're working to.
If the individual then follows all of the steps and goes through the training provided by the Housing Finance Authority and is approved by the bank, then is it guaranteed that they're going to get that stopgap financing from the EDA?
If it's determined that they have a gap and they qualify in all the other areas, they're a first-time homeowner, they're a Virgin Islands resident, meaning they've been living here for at least 1 year, or a variety of other areas in reference to that, they meet the bank ratios, then it's pretty much guaranteed that they'll get the gap financing. As long as you qualify and you're eligible, and it's under that $200,000 threshold, then potentially, yes, you're guaranteed until the program runs out of funding. If the program runs out of funding, then of course we can't guarantee any gap financing, and the program ends when it runs out of funding. But yeah, you're pretty much guaranteed as long as you meet all the eligibility requirements, and there is the determination that you have a gap when you're going to the bank.
And that was going to be my next question. So when does the VI Slice program end? And you said when the program runs out of funding.
Well, yeah, we're using ARPA funds for these programs. So technically, the program will end on December 31, 2026. So we have about a year and 9 months really to continue to get this program rolling. We have about $9 million remaining in the program. So whichever comes first, if we are able to disperse that $9 million, then the program terminates. But if December 31st, 2026 comes and we still have some funding, the funding source terminates at that point also. So roughly a year and 9 months. So I'm encouraging everyone to go and get qualified and see if you basically can get some gap financing through the EDA's programs.
Is there any talk as yet about extending it beyond that deadline, or looking for new sources of funding to extend it?
We have not heard any thought in reference to Congress extending the AARP guidelines. I mean, these are all federal guidelines that are set through the congressional appropriations. But definitely, we will request an extension. I can say that it will be granted if we have funding. We want to make sure we expend all the money we can, and that Virgin Islands are able to take advantage of this program. So we will request an extension. I can't say if an extension will be granted or not.
Right. Yeah. Well, I hope it can be extended because it's a great program. I wish we could have it in perpetuity. I guess it must come to an end at some point. And I hope that more people will take advantage of it in the short remaining time. And how much are you seeing on average for each particular loan or grant, as the case may be?
Yeah, I would say the average disbursement, and we've had some that had the flow maximum, but if you talk average, the average is about $75,000 in reference to the gap financing we're providing.
Yeah. And this is excellent because the hardest thing for any new homeowner or somebody wanting to become a homeowner is coming up with that down payment, the 20% down payment and all the closing costs and so forth, if it's not rolled into the original mortgage, because people are paying rent, people have all kinds of expenses, and it's hard to save that money. So I'm sure this is an incredible help to those people who qualify in every way, have the income, have the good credit standing, but can't come up with that 20%. So are you all still marketing this a lot? Is the word being pushed out about this on a regular basis?
Yeah, well, I mean, we're marketing it at every venue we can. As I indicated a little earlier, we are having the town halls March 25th, March 26th, and March 27th. And it's all just geared to VI Slice and marketing the program to Virgin Islanders. But Similar to AARP, we're happy to go to Rotary. We're happy to talk wherever we can in reference to this particular program and promote the program. The program was designed for first-time owners to take advantage and get a piece of the rock. Basically, and that's why we call it VA slice. Get your slice of the territory. So yeah, we want to be able to get that full $10 million out. So we're promoting this program very, very heavily. We're not traditionally a home lending entity, but when the governor came to us and the Office of Disaster Recovery and asked us to administer a home program where we can assist Virgin Islanders, we were happy to jump at the opportunity and definitely provide the assistance that could be done in regard to that. We are a very good finance company. We normally do commercial loans to small businesses, but mortgage loans are very, very similar. So we were happy to really be there and be allowed to assist Virgin Islands getting a home.
You may or may not know, I don't want to get too deep into the history, but your grandfather and my grandfather, when they were in the Colonial Council or Municipal Council many years ago, they had a similar program. It was called the Homestead Act, to create homesteads here on St. Croix in particular for Virgin Islanders to buy a tract of land. It was usually 10 acres with a small house on it, and many people benefited from it. So it's interesting that a couple of generations later, you are carrying the torch now through the EDA. So it must be the good influence of your grandfather still at work here. So congratulations on that.
I think for us, it's basically a service to people and wanting to see Virgin Islanders succeed. So definitely, I'm happy to assist wherever I can in reference to seeing Virgin Islanders do well.
Excellent, excellent. And AARP, we're always concerned about people over the age of 50 having equal opportunity. Is there any age limit to this program? Do you have to be below a certain age to take advantage of it?
None of our programs have any type of age limit. We do not age discriminate. Our programs are open to everyone as long as you can qualify and meet the repayment ability that's there. We're happy to go ahead and assist persons of any age. Let me change that. There is some age requirements because you have to be over 18 because you can't sign a contract unless you're 18. But on the upper end, there's no age requirements.
Perfect, perfect. And also at AARP, we're always concerned about homes being constructed so that people can age in place. And we do a lot of work through the Virgin Islands Housing Finance Authority with a program that we have at AARP called Home Fit. And it would be wonderful if we could somehow find a way to partner to get that information through this program. And what it is to look at ways in which the house is constructed so that we have interior doors through which wheelchairs can pass, that if there's steps going up to the house to get into the house, that there's a ramp in place. So, it's so very important for people to consider that because most people do want to age in their home. People don't want to be in a nursing home or any kind of assisted living facility, but when they buy or build a house that doesn't allow them to age in place, then they're forced to move out. So that would be another conversation we'd love to have with the EDA, especially with this VI Slice program, to keep that in the forefront of people's minds to make sure that they have homes where they can age in place and live out their entire life, rather than having to leave because they can't maneuver through their house in a wheelchair.
Yeah, I think that's a major concern, particularly as we have an aging community. Unfortunately, VA Slice cannot be used for a modification to a home if you already own a home. But if you're purchasing a home that needs renovation and it's your first time home, you can incorporate those changes into the renovation plan if you're purchasing a home for the first time. So you can't use it if you already have a home. We do work very closely with the Virgin Islands Housing Finance Authority. Also, we try not to duplicate their programs, and we're happy to assist and promote in their programs anyhow we can in regard to homeowners. But again, it can be used if you're purchasing a fixer-upper and you're doing a renovation. You can renovate and use the funds to renovate the home. So it's aging, prepared for as you age, you can live in that particular home. So we have created a program along those lines in reference to that.
Excellent, excellent. Glad to hear that. And so in general now with the EDA, the Economic Development Authority, what other initiatives do you have to help to develop financial resilience of the people of the Virgin Islands or the economy? What other
Yeah, I mean,
programs
there's
are
a
there?
variety of different programs. We look at our mission as three-pronged. One is economic growth, so we try to grow the economy of the territory. The second is job creation. We try to create jobs. And the third is wealth generation. So we try to create wealth amongst the persons here. And we do that by diversifying the economy. So we continue to attract investment into the territory, but also we do neighborhood planning and community development. So we're doing a lot of that in our enterprise zones, whether it be Frederickstead, Christiansted, Savannah Down Street or Garden Street Up Street. We continue to do that. We recently did our estate planning conference, which we're probably going to extend that to twice a year. So I'll be happy to come on and talk about that next time we're doing that. And you may have had Ms. Nadine Machena Ken on previously, and we have basically partnered with AARP in the past in reference to doing that conference. And hopefully we'll be able to partner with you in the future in regard to that. So there's a variety of different programs we do. Of course, we have our small business lending, and as I indicated, there's no age requirements in regard to that as far as the top end goes. There's no age limits. So we provide financing to small businesses, whether it be startup, and we lend anywhere from basically $1,000 to $500,000. So there's a significant area in reference to doing that. We are talking more and more with the Department of Education in reference to creating more financial literacy in our schools, from elementary school, middle school, and high school. So hopefully that will assist in regard to that. So we are going to be running a few seminars also in reference to budgeting, preparation in reference to credit, a variety of different things. We have partnered with another entity that did a wealth conference recently, and we will probably partner with them again in reference to talking about credit. How do you invest in real estate, whether it be local or a land? How do you use insurance to your benefits, whole life or cash value insurance versus term life? So there's a variety. How do you invest in the stocks, whether it be mutual funds, stocks, bonds? We're getting involved in all aspects in reference to wealth generation. So hopefully the AARP members can take advantage of some of the conferences we'll have coming up in regard to wealth generation and protecting your investments. How do you grow your investments?
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you for the partnership over the years. And we hope to continue partnering with the VI EDA because you offer so many important programs. And we certainly want to be part of that and to add our level of expertise to it as well as we come to you with our own resources, forming a really great partnership. And so, especially talking about the development and the sustaining of wealth, especially through real estate. My dear grandmother always said that real estate is real money, and once you invest well and you protect your properties, that's building really good financial resiliency toward the future. So very, very, very important. And I'm glad to hear that you're also offering courses on the high school level or workshops regarding credit, because so many people don't understand credit, don't build good credit, and then when it comes time to invest or to purchase, they don't have the credit that they need. And so we just have a few more minutes remaining. If you will, tell us how people can find more information on the variety of programs that the EDA offers.
Yeah, our main website at USVI Economic Development Authority is usvieda.org. Very, very simple. usvieda.org, our acronym. And you can get jump sites to all our different programs from that main website. If you're looking for VI Slice, there is a VI Slice website also. It's vislice.com. Again, very simple, vislice.com. And that is dedicated strictly to the VI Slice program. All the information in reference to VI Slice can be found on that particular website. And we've been doing this now, Troy, in regard to our program, is that we have our main website, but then we create sub-sites in reference to, you may not want to surf through our entire site. You may just want a particular thing. So if you want to look at the economic plan that we created 2 years ago for the territory, we call it Vision 2040. That's usvi2040.com. So all of them are very, very simple acronyms to get to the sites, but we think there's lots of value. And I would suggest that individuals look at that Vision 2040 plan because a lot of our sister agencies are now looking at Vision 2040 and saying, how do we prepare for the next 20 years? If these are the industries that their potential growth, how do we train our workforce? How do we train our individuals? How do we move towards these industries? There's also some aspirational goals there, and there's also a target industry. So you can look at those target industries and say, I have some skill sets. I can develop something that meets this particular target industry and grow some wealth in the future. So a variety of different things. But again, our main website for the Virgin Islands Economic Development Authority is usvieda.org.
And with all of these programs that you have, especially the business incubation programs where you can give startup loans, where does that funding come from? We know about the VI Slice coming from the AARP, but where does the rest of the funding come from?
Yeah, the rest of our funding, we have a mixture of local and federal funding. When loan programs are created, they're created in what we call revolving loan programs. So as we get payback, we lend that money over and over and over again. So we've been able to relend or recycle the money, as we say in the industry, over the years. So we have several different local funds. We have several federal funding programs. We now have what we call the the State Small Business Credit Initiative Program, known as SSBCI, where the federal government has basically allocated $57 million to us for businesses. We have to basically loan 80% of the first tranche. They do it in 3 tranches. So we got $18.7 million from them. We have to loan about 80% of that to get to the second tranche, which will be another 18.7. And then when we do 100% of the first tranche and 80% of the second tranche, we get another $18.7 million. The advantage of doing SSBCI programming is that money stays in the territory. Once all the funds are loaned, the program basically sunsets 10 years. And after that 10 years, whatever was loaned in the territory stays in the territory. So we're able to relend it over and over and over and help businesses throughout the territory. So a combination of local and federal funding.
Wow, amazing. Amazing. You have a great reach there at the EDA, and thanks so much for all that you do for the people of the Virgin Islands through the EDA. And thank you for being with us on the show today. We've now come to the end. We've been in conversation with Wayne Biggs, the Chief Executive Officer of the Virgin Islands EDA. And again, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you for having me, and look forward to partnering with you over and over and talk about our programs and how we can assist Virgin Islanders here in the territory.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.